Right, let's just get this over with. How's it going, people? It's Charlie and welcome back to another video on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. It's time for your final say on last night's 2-1 away defeat at Aston Villa. Is it time for Jesse Marsch to go? We'll be getting into that in just a second. But before I do, please smash that like button. It really helps get the video out there so everyone can have a watch of me ranting for a little bit. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, as you always do. Right, I'm going to try and not rant, but it's going to be very difficult not to. Time's up now for me. I didn't want to go fully in on Marsch last night because I actually think he set us up quite well to win that game last night. I think last night was just down to a real lack of quality, which, whether that's on Marsch himself, whether that's on the board, not bringing in players, or blah, 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 who knows. But I think last night we battered Aston Villa. They didn't deserve anything from that game. But it just shows you how far ahead of us they are as a club, that they can afford to have a bad night, which they did, and still win games. We're nowhere near that. If we have a bad game, we lose. But even if we have a good game, we lose. Now, it was around this time last year, and it was actually away at Villa Park when we drew 3-3 last season, that Radrizzani said that that was the game that kind of was the beginning of the end for Marcelo Bielsa. And I think it could be a game where, it could be the beginning of the end for Jesse Marsch as well. Now, he's been in charge, 11 months now? Nearly a year. And he's won 8 games of football in nearly a year. That's just not good enough. 2 of those teams are now in the Championship. So he's beaten 6 Premier League teams in nearly 12 months. The style of play is just not good enough. Similar to Bielsa in that his stubbornness, he doesn't seem to want to change it. People might say he's changed it just from switching to a 4-3-3 in certain moments or against certain teams, but it's still narrow, it's still not using width, it's still not using our best assets effectively, i.e. Gnonto, Sinistera when he was fit, Somerville, Harrison, etc. The persistence with certain individuals, i.e. Mark Rocker of late, I don't think it's been great at all. A whinger, moans at the ref every time he gets touched. His passing has been shocking, even though I do think on his day he's probably technically one of our best passers of the ball, but he's just going through some really bad form at the minute. But again, negligence has meant that we don't have anyone that can come in and maybe take his place for a few games whilst he, just has a bit of a breather from it all. Brendan Aronson is the same. I actually felt he had quite a decent game last night. No goals or assists though, since August, I believe. Yeah, he needs a break. But again, we don't have anyone who is good enough to come in and take his place for maybe 2-3 games. Well, again, he has a breather from everything. I think Pascal Struijk against Cardiff and last night has really struggled. I don't know why. I think he's probably our best defender at the club, in my opinion. So I'm not going to go too much in on him because that could just be temporary. The fact that we're having to play Luke Ayling at right back at the minute, which I actually don't mind, because I don't think Rasmus has worked out so far, and I do think Ayling is better in terms of an offensive standpoint. Defensively, we know he's not been great for a while. Obviously, we've signed Max Verber, who I thought was either going to be an answer at centre-back or at left-back, so that Strout could move into centre-half. Fair enough, against Cardiff, it was his first game, maybe start him on the bench in that one, but I felt last night was a game that he could have started. Why are we not starting him? If Liam Cooper was not the captain of Leeds United, he would not be playing, in my opinion, anyway. To be fair, Coops actually had an alright game last night, but again, it's in dribs and drabs. It's not consistent enough. Last night, I think it was the players that need to take the responsibility. I think Marsch's tactics were spot on. Villa were trying to play out from the back. We were pressing them, and the press was working. We were forcing them into errors, but again, we just didn't have that clinical edge in the final third. Gnonto was unbelievable, but again, he can't do everything on his own. I thought Adams was decent in midfield as well. Obviously, it was good for Patrick Bamford to come on and score his first goal since December 2021, which is unbelievable. Hopefully that can help boost his confidence. Rodrigo, I thought, was decent up front, and you have to give props to Marsch in a way, because I do feel in certain games he gets the tactics right. It's just the lack of quality that Leeds United have. So I can understand where certain fans are coming with that side of the argument, where they're kind of blaming the players and not the manager. But if you go full circle on that, you could say, well, the players are obviously going off the instructions of Marsch. He gears them up in the dressing room prior to games. He gives the halftime speeches. He's on the training pitch at Thorpe Arch. So if the players are not understanding his instructions, then that's on him, because he needs to find a better way of delivering his message. And that's why I do think his time's up, or his days are numbered now, in my opinion. They're not going to sack him now. I think the performance last night means that the board will give him maybe this week. Listen, I've bought a ticket for Cardiff on Wednesday. I'm going. And I'm not even 100% sure. I'm not even confident that Leeds are going to win that game. Because I think, because how huge that Brentford game now is for Jesse Marsch, I think he's going to change the starting 11 completely for Cardiff on Wednesday. I don't think he's even going to care about that game at all. Like I just said, I'm going, and I'm not really that bothered about it. I'm just going because I support Leeds United. I love the club. I love going to Ellen Road and supporting the team. But it's difficult to watch at the minute. But I want to go to Cardiff because there is a possibility of a win, and I've not seen a win in a long time, since Bournemouth on the 5th of November. That was our last win in the league. So yeah, I think he'll make wholesale changes against Cardiff, and I hope he does, because I'm not even saying that we'll beat Brentford. I'm not even confident that we'll even win that game, but we need to be giving ourselves our best possible chance. Do not play Gnonto against Cardiff. Don't play Rodrigo. The only sort of first teamer as such that I would give a go is Bamford. I know he scored last night, but he played, what was it, about 15 minutes? I would at least give him 45 minutes against Cardiff, whether it be the first half or the second half, just to get his minutes up, just to get his fitness up. Bamford's the only player that I would say risk as such, because that Brentford game is massive for Jesse Marsch. If he loses that game, we'll probably be in the relegation zone. I think, if memory serves me right, we are still 14th at this moment in time, because Everton were leading against Southampton earlier on, but they managed to lose the game 2-1. James Ward-Prowse scored 2 goals there. So the Southampton, Everton and West Ham all in the bottom 3, all on 15 points. We're on 17, so we're 2 points above the relegation zone at the minute. That's not good. That's really not good. Obviously Wolves beat West Ham today. Forest beat Leicester. Forest are 3 points better off than us. Nottingham Forest, who we all wrote off a few months ago. Signed about 100 players, but Steve Cooper seems to... I'm not saying that they're completely out of it, but, you know, Forest beating Leicester. Somehow we've still managed to stay 14th. Unbelievably. And at the time of recording this, Brentford have not played Bournemouth yet, but if Bournemouth spring a surprise result at Brentford, we could find ourselves lower down the league. So at the time of recording this, as I said, they've not played, so... But still, God, it's a massive week for Marsch. It really is. Tactically inept for me. Doesn't seem to want to change. Similar to Bielsa. And I know this isn't anything to do with the Marsch situation, but what's going on with this Ruta deal? We were supposed to be signing the contract this morning or something, or was it yesterday morning? Not heard a peep about it today, not from Philly, not from Fabrizio Romano, nothing. The only thing we've heard this morning is that apparently once the Ruta deal's complete, we'll be making a decision on if we should go for Unahi from Angers. But people are getting excited about these signings, and rightfully so, because if we did pull Unahi off as well as Ruta, that's 2 great deals for Leeds. But don't be fooled by it, because it's still going to be the same tactics that are not going to get us anywhere. Even if we go and beat Brentford, great, I'll be buzzing with that. Of course I will. I want Marsch to work out. I want him to get us results so he can stay in charge. I don't exactly want a change of manager, but at the same time I do, because I just don't think this is going to get us anywhere. Even if we beat Brentford, because then we'll probably go on another run of like 10 games without a win or something. That's what will happen. That'll still be 3 wins in 18 games. That's not good enough. If that's another team in the Premier League, you're sacked. It's as simple as that. There's more ruthless teams in this league, and we need to become one of them. This is not good enough. The board know it. And yes, maybe the factor of the matter is that there's no one out there that can come in, but I'm sorry that there has to be somebody out there that can come in. Even if we have to go to someone that's already got a job, pay the money, we're Leeds United, we're in the Premier League, come and save us. Come and help us. There will be a manager out there that can play with width, that can be a bit more possession based, and can sort the defence out, because I do feel that with the right players in the defence and the right system, the defence can be good. We can improve there. But under this system and under this manager, we're just not going to. You know, from a corner kick last night, our own corner, we concede within 2 passes, within what was it, about 20 seconds. Not good enough. Even though Villa were poor last night, every time they attacked, they looked like scoring. But even if we score from our own attack, we don't look like scoring when we attack. Even if we do, we don't look like we're going to. I'm just very distant with it at the minute. I was expecting a defeat last night, and it's what happened. I don't know what to expect against Cardiff. regarding team selection, formation, result. I don't know what to expect. Brentford, we're at home, so that's an advantage if the crowd get. But you know, if Brentford go a goal up, that ground's going to turn toxic. You saw the away end last night. You've seen videos of Marsch clapping the fans, and they're all sticking fingers up, and they were chanting Marsch out. And as much as maybe I agree with them to an extent, I don't think that helps in that moment, chanting at him like that. I don't think that helps matters, but I can understand the frustration. You've paid a lot of money to go down to Birmingham on a Friday night, and that's kind of why. I don't want to sound like I'm not a proper fan here, but I want to go to as many away games as I possibly can this season. I haven't had a chance to get to one yet. But when I see us play like that away from home, I look at how much it costs. You know, there's the ticket, there's the travel, there's a few drinks when you're there. It's a lot of money. It's a dear do. And people are doing it all the time. There'll be fans that go to every away game, and that's what they have to watch. And sometimes I think I'm glad I didn't buy a ticket for that. The only one that I regret is the Liverpool one, because I actually was very close to trying to get one, but certain commitments at the time meant that I couldn't go. I actually had COVID that weekend as well, but that's the only one where I look back and I think, I wish I'd have gone there. But obviously that's because we won. But you know, people pay a lot of money, so they're allowed to vent their frustrations. Marsch obviously saying that he doesn't feel that we're in a relegation fight. You need to wake the hell up, pal, because we are. I'm not saying we'll go down. I'm not saying that we're definitely going down like a few people are, because there's a lot of games yet to play. But it's not looking good. And I would rather him just be honest and say, yeah, we are in a fight. We need to improve in blah, blah, blah. But which he says that, but then he says that we're not in a relegation fight. Wake up, mate, we are. Saying we've been solid. Last night you could maybe argue we were. It was just two really bad pieces of defending that led to their goals. But this league is very unforgiving. Can't make errors like that in this league and not expect to get punished. Honestly, I'm at a loss with it at the minute. I don't know what the hell is going to happen. People will say, yeah, but we've signed his players and players that he knows. I don't care. The players, I saw Connor from One Leeds say this on his video earlier on today, and he's right. The players aren't robots. They can play other systems. They can play it other ways. People going, oh, the Jesse Marsch's players. No, they're not. They're just the footballers. The players. If another manager comes in and gives them an instruction, they'll do it. Whether it be a good instruction or a bad one, they'll do it. Because they can play however a manager tells them to. And this is the way that Marsch is telling them to play at the minute, and it's not working. So, is it time to go for Jesse Marsch? In my opinion, yes. Do I think it will happen? I'm not sure. But if it doesn't, strap yourselves in, guys, because it's going to be one hell of a bumpy ride. We'll leave it there anyway, guys. If you've enjoyed this, please smash that like button. It really helps me out. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.